Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, we are almost all students in the class. Done. Okay, so let's just recall what we have studied in last lecture. Please, everyone, write down one topic in chat box. What we have learned in last lecture. So that can be easy revision. Loop, perfect, Nisha. Meanwhile, others can join the class. If condition, yes. Only Nisarg is writing. Okay. Anyone else? Oops, basic concept. Parent class, child class. Okay. Then anyone else? Only one. Are you present with active participation or just want to confirm the attendance beta? I asked that what we have learned in last session. And only Nisarg is typing. Okay, then no issue. So I'll continue from the last session and let's go ahead. Visibility modifiers are there. Yes, this one is also there. This is the code of your juniors. Let me close the project. Okay, so now we are here. This is what we have discussed. The command line argument, how to use it. Then after we discuss about the loop, while loop, okay, for loop. Then after range we have discussed. Then how to use the range incremental and decremental manner, how to jump in a particular range using the steps, okay. Then we have discussed about class and the subclass, means the parent class and child class. So then after we need to discuss more about these concepts. So let me start from this program only. This, okay. Let me run this. So file is compiled. Okay, so this was the last output which we have discussed, that parent object created and child object created. So it means that whenever you are trying to create the child object, it will first call the parent object. Okay, so parent object constructor will be called first and then after the child object. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's try to discuss some more concept about this. Let me get the code file. Its name must be P12808. Okay, so make okay. So now let's work with a single function called single class called sum. Okay, and let's create few variables like variable I integer. Okay, and suppose I'm trying to write a function that like get value. Okay, where you are getting some value called j, not returning anything, and you are writing that I equal to j. So now this is the first example of function for you. So now let me explain you what does it mean. It means that function fun is a keyword which says that whatever you are going to write down after that keyword is going to be a function name. Then this is a parameter. J is a parameter and integer is data type, and then the colon symbol. Okay, it's not required actually. If anything you want to return, then you can use it. Okay, but there is no return type, so we are not writing anything. And then what we are writing I equal to j. Okay, so it means whatever value you will provide over here, it will be given to I, which is internal variable for the class. Same way we can have the set for get and okay, I made a mistake. This must be a set function. Okay, and get function from where we can get the value. So get val. Okay, here we need not to pass anything as a parameter because we want to get the value of the variable I from this function. So now the return type is fixed. That's why here you can write down return I. So okay, spelling mistake. Return I. So this is how it will work. Now you can see some error kind of things are there. Okay, why it is there? We will see. And here you can create an object for sun. Then what you can do that as call s dot set value 20. Okay, and then println. Okay, value of I equal to s dot get value. So this is a simple function or the program in which I have created one class where there is one variable as a member. Okay, there is one function which will set the value which we will pass as a parameter. Okay, and there is one function. Yeah, done Jay. And there is one another function which will return the value of that particular variable. Okay, so first there is an error. Okay, and you can see this error. So here there is advantage in this Kotlin language is that you will get an error while you are writing a code. Okay, but try to understand the error first. Okay, don't jump into the programming directly or and uh, making it correct, but try to understand the reason. So the reason you can see here that property must be initialized or be abstract. So it means I have declared one variable as a property of this, so it must be initialized. So let's initialize it with the 0. Now let me just run this code. Let's see what is output. So we can see that the value of I is 20. So it means we have successfully created an object. Then the set function is working properly. And then after we have tried to print the value of the variable I, and it is printed successfully. Okay, now the questions are, can we create a constructor for this? Because here, suppose I want to provide value at the time of initialization. It's variable is object initialization. Can I provide it? Yes. So it means for that you need to create a parameterized constructor. So how can we do that? This is a constructor. Okay. So before that, I would like to show you that when I didn't written this code, okay, it is working properly. Now I'm writing, say, okay, integer, okay, I equal to k. So the value of k will be given to the variable I. So now we will print the value 2 times after the object creation, okay, and then after setting the value, okay. So this is what I have written over here, and this is how it is going to be called. So let's run. So the first we are getting that the value of I is 30 because we have initialized with the value 30. And in second we are getting the value 20 because we have set the value 20. So this kind of practice you need when you want to set and get the parameters or the values for the class. Okay. But now, suppose I do not want to initialize the value. Okay. Then let's say whether it will work or not. So again, I'm asking a question to all of you in the chat box. Will it work with the default constructor? Everyone, yes or no? Is this default constructor will work or not? Because we have used the parameterized constructor, okay, and I'm calling default constructor without any parameter. So will it give me any error or it will successfully execute it?
It will give error, sir.
Okay, one. Any other answer? Okay, it will give error. Yeah, good, Abhi. Yes, yeah, so it will give error. So let's just check. Yes, yes, perfect. Yeah, no value passed for the parameter k because now you need to pass a parameter compulsory. But I can do this thing. So let's 5. Now this will work because it will set the value 5 for the I. Yes. Okay. And even other way is that you can have the parameterized constructor with the default value. So let's set with the 10. So now it means that this constructor is going to be called with the value 10 if it is going to be called, and if this constructor is going to be called, then it will be called with the value 5. Now the question is that if I am going to call empty, means without a constructor without parameter, which one is going to be called? The first one, so what will be the value of I? 5 or 10? 5, okay. One answer is there.
5.
5, Jay, okay. Thank you, Jay. 2 are enough. So let's test, see what is the value of I. It will be 5. Now suppose I change the sequence. Now, do you think that this changing of sequence is going to affect the execution? So just predict the answer, whether it will be a 5 or now it will be a 10. So still it is a 5. So what does it mean? It means, so if you are having an empty constructor, okay, and though you are having a constructor with the we can say the default value, then again the priority for the empty constructor is always high. Okay, whether you are writing first or second, that doesn't matter. Clear? So this is all about constructors. This must be written first, so it look proper. Okay. Then let's do another simple program. Okay. With we create one more. P2. So now suppose there is a class called time. Okay, where there is two integer value. In default constructor, the HH will be 12, will be 0. This is a parameterized constructor. Okay. And here, sorry, HH equal to H, equal to M. So the hour value is given to be hour and minute value will be provided to minute. Okay. Now, suppose in a main, I am creating two objects. Okay. So like this variable T1 equal to time and then T2 equal to time. So now suppose I want to make another variable. And then after let's have a print time. Function show time. Okay. Println. Okay, I think this is something that I need to show you. So if you are going to write down any variable inside double quote and you want to print the value of that particular variable in a line, that you can just put the dollar and then write down the variable name, so it will be automatically referred to the particular variable. Okay, so this will be the output, so it will print that hour and minute. Okay, so before doing this, let's just print the value t1 dot show time, t2 dot show time, and let's run the code. So you can see this HH is equal to 12 0 and HH is equal to 10, that is working properly. But now the question is that suppose I want to make it like this. So which concept will help you in execution of this line? Just think and tell me that which concept will help you. If you can remember any concept. Anyone, please?
Sir,
Yes, beta.
I did not understand the question. What is the
Okay.
exact question?
So question is that I want to make it possible that this should work. You can see currently it is giving me error. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So by implementing which concept this can work, this line? Is it do you think that it will work directly? So normally we are doing in this way. Function add time, and then we can have two
Sir,
different
where is error? Sir, I don't know where is
red
error.
color, red color. Okay. So would you like to?
So, sir, we are not able to add. Is
Okay.
that the error? We are not able to add that.
Yes. You can see here.
So I think don't we need to convert it?
So very good. So
Typecasting,
typecasting.
typecasting, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. So T1 is an object of time class. Okay. So in which data type you want to do typecast it? Just think about it. Because T3
Date time.
Integer.
integer, then T3 is also time. Because that's why I've written this T3 dot show time. So my simple question is that if I'm having a two object, just forget this time, any of the class. If I'm having two object of any class and I'm suppose doing a plus of two object, then if it is not working, then by which fundamental you can do that? By implementing which fundamental? So one way I'm showing you, okay? So one way is simple, that fun, okay? Add objects like this, you can make function, and then you can have a T1 called time class object, okay? Then T2, that is also time class object, and then you can do this thing. Okay, you need to return the object, so you need to write down the time, because object you are returning object. And what you can do over here is that return, okay? So now we are going to plus hours first. So we will write that Okay, now I think I need to create the object first. Do I have options? Yes, I'm having the options. So I can directly call return constructor. In that hours is there. So what I will do, t1 dot hh plus t2 dot hh plus, suppose in case the summation of the minute is more than 60. So what we need to do, t1 dot minutes plus t2 dot minute, and this should be divided by 60. So 120, so 1 hour. Yeah, perfect. And then when you want the minutes, so you can directly copy this, and here it will be, instead of dividing, it will be a modulo. So it means that if this minute value is suppose 72, so actually out of 72, 60 should be added as a 1 hour and 12 should be remaining as a minute. So this is the operation which I have performed, and let's see that whether it is working or not. So I'm writing, let me just comment this line, and I would like to work with v4 object. First I will show you that variable v4 equal to, okay, uh, okay, I need to pass only one object because one is the calling object. I did a mistake. So instead of 2 3 I can write down this, because the calling object is always there. This is oops funda. Okay, so here I will write the t1 dot add object t2, and then I can write that v4, sorry, yeah, v4 dot show time, and let's see whether this is working or not. Yeah, you can see this 12 plus 2 14 and 0 10 12. Even we can have some values like this 10 comma 56, so that the uh, modulo and divide should have a chance to work. So now you can see that 10 plus 2 12, 50 plus 10 it is 56 plus 10 is a 66. So 60 minutes will be added. So 10 plus 2 12 plus 1 hour from minute, so 13 hours, and remainder is 6, so that will be as a 6 minute. So this is how this function will work. Okay, and this is a normal way. Now the question is that suppose I want to make it possible, I want to make this possible. Just by looking at this thing, can you tell me that which fundamental is this? This is one fundamental of object-oriented concept. If anyone can recall.
Sir, operator overloading.
Yes, beta. Perfect. It is operator overloading, because your operator knows only integer and string addition or something. Even in a C language, your plus operator does not know how to concate the string. It's only know how to add the integers. So then after programmers take a burden to write down or overload that particular plus operator for string, but still that plus operator is not overloaded for all the classes. So you need to make it possible. So here this fundamental is called operator overloading, and that you need to implement. So how to implement this? So for that, again, there is a function called plus. So let me just copy this. So that plus function is there. Okay. Now let's see whether the plus is working or not. It should work. So if it is not working, then I need to operator modifier is required. Here I did mistake. I think so. Now you can see it is possible. So this is another concept, and this is called operator overloading. And surely this will help you because while we were implementing or creating many projects, sometimes we need to work with this operator loading kind of concept. So this is only for plus, okay? The same way if you use the word minus, then it will work for the minus symbol. Then if you want to multiply, then there is a word called times, okay? Then for division, there is div. For modulo operation, there is rem, okay? Even you can have the, you can implement the range operator, that is sometimes we are writing in this way. Yes, everything is possible. So this is just a demonstration of how this operator loading will work. Okay, now let's go ahead and let me show you something more interesting. Yes, so that is P2, 3, 8, 8. So now we will take a break for 2 to 3 minutes, and then after again we will continue with this exercise. Just take a break of 2 minutes. Meanwhile, I am taking the attendance. Thirty, 14, 17, 23, 37, 38. Bansi, Harkishan, please give your roll number. Thank you, Idida, for changing your name. 6. Everyone, please change your name. Jay 35. Jaydeep. Jaydeep, your roll number, beta? Bansi, Jay and Jaydeep, please change your display name so that it will be very easy to take attendance. And I think so, this kind of message was there in the group. 3, 4, 6, 8, 3, 4, 6, 8, 13, 14, 17, 20, 21, 23, 37, and 38. Jaydeep, are you there, beta? Please, anyone tell me what is the roll number of Jaydeep, so I can take the
Roll
logical.
number 7, sir.
Okay, thank you. This is called logical attendance. Jay Solanki is 35. Done. Okay. Anyone who just came in and left the meeting? Anyone, if your friend is there? I think Nipun was there in a meeting. I just added him. Where he is? Call them to attend the class so that attendance can be managed. Okay, so sorry. Let's go ahead and let's try to. Okay, some messages are there. Jaideep 7, okay, and Ravi Savalia 23. Yes, added. Okay, so now the topic is about static. Okay, so still we are working with a single class. And suppose these all are non-static variables. Okay, now suppose you want to make a static variable, then what you can do? So obviously in a Java we were writing static, but you can see the static keyword is not here. It is not there. So and because that static is one of the reason it is not possible. So that's why instead of static allowing to implement the static, there is another provision, and that is called companion object. Okay, by which you can make something a static in a class. So let me just create a class demo where I am writing that my variable I is integer kind of thing, and value is 0. Okay, let me just copy get and set. Where is get and set? This will be very helpful for me. Okay, so my work is done. Okay, with that, this all means this variable I is not a static, but I want to use some static value. Then what I can do is that is called companion object. Okay, in that you can have any string or any value. So I'm just using a string. Okay, class name. Suppose this is what I'm using, and let me just initialize is with demo. I think it is going to be. Is it creating an issue? I'll make it senior. Safe delete there. Okay, it's not at all big deal. And inside this companion object, you need to provide the get and set method. Okay, so if you are not providing the set method and writing this instead of var, if you are writing val, then it is not going to be changed. Okay, so what here you can do is, here you can write down the function set cname, where s is string. What you are going to do is you will write that cname equal to s. The same way you can have get cname, and here the return type will be string, and what you can do is just return cname. Okay, so now we are out of this function main. Okay, now I can create one object called var d equal to demo. Yeah, it will be 0. So I can then after d dot set value and get value will work. But suppose I'm trying to call this get them set them. Will it work or not? So it is not there. Okay, but can I write in this way that demo? Yeah, you can see cname, println. Okay, let's try to run this code. So demo is there. Now suppose you want to change it, demo dot set cname with ICT. Okay, then println demo dot get cname. Let's see. Yeah, now it is ICT. Okay, so now this is how you can by using this word companion object. Okay, you can use a static alternate in Kotlin. Otherwise, normal value is possible. So now, any doubt up till this? Let me just summarize what we have discussed today. So first, we have started with the constructor overloading. Then after, we understand that the sequence of execution of constructor. Okay. Then after, we learn about how to return an object from a function, and then the operator overloading. This is how it will work. Okay. The third thing that we learn is about how to carry the static values in a project while you are developing the project in Android using Kotlin. So these are the three main things that we have discussed. Any doubt in this? Please tell me. Okay, so there is no any answer. Okay, so let me just go ahead. 6. I think someone is new in the group. 6. It is not there. 70, 81, 30, 36, 38. Okay. Nikita, roll number?
So 8.
Yeah, done. Okay. So done. Now let's create one more file and let's discuss one more thing. Concept. This is P4 2808. Okay. Now here we are going to discuss about the when, which is alternate of the switch case in Kotlin. So here, suppose there is integer main. Oh, function main. Okay. So let me just write. Sorry. Five. Okay. Now based on this value, I want to make a switch case. So here there is when. In when you can pass the value of the variable name, and then you can write down the switch cases. Okay. And here you need not to even write down the case or something like that. You can directly write down a value for which you want to execute the case. but here the I is integer, so you will be able to write down for the integer. So you can write down in this way, that if it is 1, then println. Okay, some message is there. Yeah, you can. Okay, if you have any I have discussed about this thing. Okay, if you have any placement related activity or something, just put the message and you can leave. Yeah, you can leave it, no issue. Just write down your roll number and write down that you are leaving because of this reason. It's okay. Okay, so println 1, so it will print 1. Okay, now if there is a 2, and if there is a 2, then you want to print 2 line. So then what you can do, you can write down in this way, println 2, println 2. But then after, suppose that the value is between 3 to 10. Oh, yes, you can. Now suppose you want to, so now this was the case in C language and in Java, okay? But what is the advantage over here? Now suppose if there is something value between 3 to 10, so what is the advantage? Then what you want to do? Okay, so in this way you can write down the values, and then you can write down println more than 2. There is an error. Is it perfect? I don't think so any reason is there for this. Let me check. Oh, I forgot the keyword. Yeah, got it. Forgot the keyword. See, more than 2, because the value is in a range. So even you can have this kind of range for that. Okay, let's test one more thing. Can we write the same for the character while we are working with the integer? So we just want to check. Whether the values have been converted into integer or not. Okay, because we know in a C language what happened, that in a C language the values are converted into integer if there is any constant value. So let me test in this way. Okay, if I am writing in this way, okay, so let's see now whether it is allowing the characters or not. If not allowing, then what will be the error? So the error is that you mentioned. Okay, so the parameter type is integer, so it will not work. Okay, so only integer will work. So this is a single demo. Okay, but now the same thing you want to do with the functions. So you can do this thing, and that is not at all a big deal. Okay, so you can simply make a function my data type. Okay, and this function will take any kind of data. Now any is like anything anything you can add. Okay, so what we will do in this, we will write the same when, okay, for obj, and in that we can write any kind of values. So if there is a 1, we will write println integer. Okay, same way if there is a C, let me write down A, then you can write down character, suppose A, then println string. If suppose 100.10 double, okay, so in this way it will work. And now see what I'm doing over here. Testing the functions, testing function my data type. So here you need to just call the function my data type of 1, okay, same way my data type of A in a single quote, same way my data type of A double quote, and then 10. So now let's try to understand why we need to create this kind of function. The only reason is that here there is a limitation. We can pass only integer. We can pass check only integer value, which we have passed. Here there is a freedom. Any of the object you can pass, this will work. So see, you can see this integer, because the first one was integer, then the character, then the string, and then the double. So in this way, you can write down this switch case, and this might be helpful while you are identifying the listeners. Okay, so I'm just saving this code. Okay, just let me recall what we are missing. So we have done constructor overloading. This one is done. This one is done. Okay. Yeah. Have we discussed about extension function? Anyone please reply. What is extension function and how it will work? I need to find out by myself. No. 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 Okay. So now we are in the last 3 minutes, and do you have any session after this? Hello. Do you have any session after this session?
Somebody has said that.
Okay. Then no worry. I'm just stopping the session over here. And next session we will discuss about the extension function, and then function overloading and overriding. Okay. So we are completing the session over here. Those who need to submit their attendance, they can. Otherwise, you may leave. Bye bye. Have a good day.